The following exercises are all designed to undo the way that you see life and yourself now, undoing the hypnotic effect that conditioning has on you. These exercises are adopted from A Course in Miracles, the workbook. I have left the original material fairly intact as it was first written in the 70s, but where necessary, I've simplified the original material a little and adjusted the terminology so it feels more comfortable and it is easier to use and understand. I have also added my own notes and clarifications to further explain the material so that it's easier to consume. Otherwise, the bulk of it is exactly as you might find it in the original Course in Miracles workbook. Now, the purpose of these exercises is to train your mind to a different perception of everything in the world, or rather in your world. And this particular first group of lessons that we are about to go through deals with undoing the way that you see life now. Okay? Before we proceed, a warning. These exercises will very likely not make sense to you unless you have gone through the Subconscious Revealed, specifically the videos on the quantum nature of reality and the human being. A theoretical foundation such as the original Course in Miracles text or the Subconscious Revealed videos is necessary as a background to make these exercises meaningful. Yet it is the exercises which will make the goal of peace and oneness possible. In other words, the theory and these exercises require each other. You can't just do the exercises and ignore the theory. That won't really help you that much. I mean, it's going to work, but it's just going to be not that efficient or not that effective. And you just can't do the theory and ignore the exercises because, then you're not putting things into practice. It is recommended that each of the exercises that follow be comfortably repeated a few times during each day of your life from now on. You may choose to pick one exercise to focus on, like for example the exercise of the day, or on some days you might decide to focus on like a bunch of previous lessons that you've gone through over the last few days. And preferably you want to practice these exercises throughout the different places and events that you go through during your typical day. And if possible, in every situation in which you spend long periods of time, try and see how those situations can be used for practice of these exercises. The purpose here is to train the mind to generalize the lessons so that you will understand that each of them is as applicable to any one situation as it is to any other situation. Each one applies to every situation in which you find yourself and to everything that you see in it. Be sure that you do not decide that there are some things you will see to which the ideas or the exercises are not applicable. The aim of the exercises will always be to increase the application of these ideas that we're talking about to everything. But please do not turn this into a religion and do not use this as an excuse to punish yourself in any way or to harm yourself in any way or to criticize or put yourself down in any way or to do the same to anyone for that matter. This is not the military. The prime rule here is not to always be right and always do the right thing. That's not our goal here. Okay? Actually, our goal is to always accept yourself as you are, even as you practice change. Therefore, have self-compassion. Do not use this to judge or compare or criticize yourself in any way. Love yourself even as you do these exercises. Now, unless otherwise specified, the exercises should be practiced with the eyes open, since the aim is to learn how to see. Whereas the original Course in Miracles workbook recommends doing one lesson per day, and indeed this is how I will provide these lessons to you, one per day. I nevertheless suggest that you could Of course, you could do that. You could do one per day. But you could also listen to several lessons in a particular day, and then as you go about your day, spontaneously apply all those different lessons to the objects and events of that day. Okay. I personally prefer applying several lessons at once and simply playing a game with the lessons and all that I see end with all that I see and experience. So as each day comes and goes, you will find yourself naturally evolving as you put into practice all these different lessons. You will find yourself automatically becoming self-aware, becoming aware of the contrast between what is real and what is illusion, becoming more and more informed by your divine self. And it will be different for everyone. There is no right way or wrong way to do it. Do not expect a particular feeling or vision or whatever. Don't expect anything particular to happen. The divine in you knows the best way forward. So just relax and simply do the exercises and leave the rest of your divine self, your subconscious, to handle everything else for you. Some days it will feel nice and smooth and exciting and even blissful. And some days it will feel quite, the opposite, like any other good or bad day, Some days you will find yourself floating free and clear and rising above anything you have ever experienced before. And some days you will feel as if you're facing the worst of your life, the worst of yourself. And all that is normal. For the divine in you cannot coexist with the fears that you hold on to. And the divine in you, because she cannot coexist with the fears that you hold on to, she must bring those fears to the surface so that they can be resolved. And this process is automatic. Just keep doing the practice daily, regardless of the experience. Keep going forward. Find your groove. Find the way that fits you best. Again, this is not the military. Try to relax and have fun with this. This should not require effort or strenuous stress. Only be sure that you make no exceptions in applying these ideas to areas of your life. Now, some of the ideas will come across as hard to believe, especially at the beginning. And others will seem quite startling or just stupid. But it doesn't matter, You're not asked to believe them or to think that they're right or good or okay. All you're asked to do is to apply them to what you see. You're not asked to judge them or even to believe them. You're only asked to use them. It is their use which will give them meaning to you and show you that they are true eventually, someday. Remember only this: you do not need to believe them, you do not need to accept them, and you certainly don't need to welcome them. In fact, you might even actively resist some of them, but none of this will matter. And none of this will decrease their effectiveness. So don't bother about trying to believe, accept, or welcome them. Don't worry about that. Simply allow yourself to not make any exceptions in applying these ideas that you're about to learn to all the different areas of your life. Don't say, I'm not going to apply this idea, or I'm not going to apply this idea to this part of my life. Okay? That's all you're asked to do. Whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, just use these ideas. Nothing more than this is required.